I ended a relationship last October. I took a few months to get myself sorted, whatever that means. Refocused on the mission, and then I started getting a ton of female attention. So I entertained a few chicks as plates, and then I learned I was doing plates the hard way. I think this was a past post. I can't remember what he means by this, but anyway, like I went to an event, I met another woman, her energy grabbed me. It was electric. The night was electric. The next day I felt like I was coming down from a mushroom trip. The following day, so I guess day 3, is when oneitis started, and I began to see in my mind future events where she was in it. All of the crap doesn't work if you want to keep a gal around, right? I put off seeing one of my other girls to keep the energy between myself and this new girl clean. And then shortly into it, she said she felt like it was all too much and pulled back. It felt weird to have a girl pull back, but I knew why. Oneitis had struck me, and I stopped being the man that attracted her in the first place. Here's my question. What is this oneitis, and why does it happen? Is it the dopamine from intense connection? Is it trauma bonding? Is it losing the frame? I'm curious to get some answers and figure out what you guys have experienced in your theories on oneitis.
Probably a bunch of those things, but it really just boils down to, I mean, you can only have oneitis for one chick if you eliminate optionality. That's really what it boils down to. I mean, it's right in the word oneitis, right? One chick, oneitis. So if you limit yourself just down to one options, then that's going to create the potential for oneitis. So most guys fall into that trap at least once in their life. Some guys are like, fucking like back-to-back oneitis dudes. I think some guys are predisposed to it more than others as well. But you can only have oneitis if you only have one chick. So if you remove your options, then that's how you end up with oneitis. And if you know that you're prone to that, I don't think that you should limit your optionality. I think that you should cultivate optionality and let her come to you if you're prone to oneitis, and let her say, hey, like, where do we stand? Where is this going? I dig your vibe. I want to claim you, blah, 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 sort of thing. And then you evaluate them from that point. And even at evaluating them at that point doesn't mean you have to give up your options. Even if you do give up your options, it's probably unwise to even tell her if you give up your options, because her thinking that you're exercising optionality is actually good for her in the relationship, generally speaking. So, yeah, I mean, it's a whole notion or trope of one man, one woman, and it should be, like one man for that woman. But I don't necessarily agree that every man should abandon all their options in every scenario all the time. There's certainly scenarios where it's unwise to eliminate all optionality, because you end up with situations like oneitis where you become unattractive to her, and then you end up fucking heartbroken, right? The very thing that you want to avoid by eliminating options can often facilitate and create the heartbreak and the pain that guys end up in with oneitis. And you can't explain this shit to women. It's like, you can try to have these conversations with them. You just have to tell them, this is just the way that it's going to be, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. I'll be short. I mean, this guy is clearly on the early stages of unplugging. I mean, after 3 days, he's talking about the energy being electric, and he's already canceling other plans with girls that was already in his rotation for this new chick, which I understand. Like, if you want to, make plans with this girl right away, that's fine. If you want to kind of make something happen, but sitting here saying that you don't want to muddy the waters or that sort of thing, it's just, this is a overinvestment way too fast into a girl you just met. Like, this tells me that you're still letting these feelings, you're letting feelings dictate your actions, that you're still living in this world where puppy dog love and sparks flew and we met at this perfect moment and it was just, we're two souls intertwined. You're still living in that world instead of being able to take steps, right? Instead of taking back and looking this through through a logical lens. So yeah, oneitis, and the thing about oneitis too is it's an unhealthy attachment to one person, but it's an unhealthy attachment to a person that generally doesn't exist. You create them in your mind. This is something that guys are really, really good at, is that you build up this person that they were the best at. And then I talk about this all the time, people talking about or believing in the BS that they tell themselves. So they'll say things like, I've never had a girl that was as good as her. It's like, that's just something you're telling yourself. That's a story that you're telling yourself and you're going to believe it. Like, she was the best I ever had in bed. It's like, because these things that you're putting out into the world and these beliefs, they don't serve you. Even if they may be true, all they're going to do is keep you from moving on to another chick or cultivating options. So yeah, there's lack of options here, overinvestment in one particular chick. Oneitis is not something that generally happens with a girl you just met. It's usually like a breakup or a divorce or something like that, where you have a legitimate long-term connection and a lot of equity built up. So this is a guy that is just like kid in a candy store, clearly doesn't have a lot of options at this time, or options that he's satisfied with. And exactly what usually happened. He got overinvested. She smelled the desperation. She pulled away. Basically was like, yeah, dude, I'm good. Just met you 3 days ago. Time for you to hit the bricks. So a cautionary tale, but yeah, you can't run into this stuff head first with chicks, man. They don't, I mean, much as they say they want you to get swept out, to get swept out their foot, they don't want it.
At the very least, date and spin plates for months, like minimum 3 to 6 months before you abandon any options. Like if you're all coming off a mushroom trip and thinking that she's electric after 3 days or something like that, no wonder she's pushing you away.
Yeah.
We just, like, women want the thrill of the chase. They have to, like you can't rob them of their want to pursue you just a little bit. Like you have to give them even just a little bit. Like people don't want what's too easy to get, right? Like it's like, what's the catch? Like what's up, right? Like if somebody were to drop off $1 million supercar in my driveway, be like, yo, Rich, here's the keys. I'd be like, why? What's the catch? Like, what's going on? Whereas working hard for it and earning the money and paying the taxes and contacting the insurance company and going to the dealership and signing the contract and doing all that work leading up to it is far more rewarding than somebody just showing up with something that I thought that I wanted, just throwing the keys at me and saying, have a blast, right? It's too suspect. Like there has to be due process, or there's always steps to entering into dating, into a relationship, whatever it happens to be. And way too many guys move way too quickly. It's like, it's electric. She's so fantastic. I could feel the chemistry. She's my twin flame. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.